Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. And hell, what I got to tell you, man, is Texas two-step ain't gonna be no joke. The Houston Astros, they're back. They take Game 3. Let's talk about it. Yada. I tell you, man, I was driving down up from Houston for this game. I stopped by Buc-ee's on the way. Got me some of them corn nuts. Drove up to the stadium. You know, I was at Texas Live before the game, and guys were busting my balls. They're saying, Houston's done, Houston's done. We're not done yet, man. We're not done yet, brother. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. Today's episode is brought to you by SeatGeek. Come on. Code JOHNBOY Playoffs. If you don't know, now you know. Noodle, my dog. SeatGeek, 10% off JOHNBOY Playoffs. Also, they're presenting our live streams along with Talkin' Baseball. And before each stream, they're doing the SeatGeek challenge. I don't even know if I should be telling you people about this. If you guess the score after the 6th inning before the game, you get $500 to SeatGeek. So they're doing that. They're giving that away. And if you don't get in that, just download the app, even if you already have it. JOHNBOY Postseason, 10% off. There's no reason not to. Go to a game. Go to 2 games. Click the link. Thank you, SeatGeek. Trevor Goof, how you doing, Popo?
Hey, y'all got any of that queso dip over there?
Oh, yeah.
Some of that queso. Ain't no bones in my wings. These little nuggets.
Hey, I'm going to need you to get these little nuggets out of here and get me some wings, sweetheart.
Give me some wings, sweetheart. Put some bones in my wings, sweetheart.
And you know what I said? I got the very hot. Why don't you get me some very hot back there? Because this ain't very hot. Toots. Toots is out. Sweethearts.
Texas Roadhouse, though, is awesome.
Okay.
You ever had their biscuits or rolls?
I've had some rolls.
Shout out Texas Roadhouse. That, one of my first ever minor league dinners, professional baseball dinners. I'll go that route.
Wow.
It's a better story when I say it that way. I was a newly drafted kid, got some dinero out of the draft. So I went out to dinner and I wanted to pay for everyone. And one of my buddies, still my friend to this day, JP Martinez, pitching coach for the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, bro, look, it's nice that you want to pay for everyone, but you don't got to do that. We'll still be your friend, even if you don't pay for tonight. And I said, you know what, JP? Yeah, you know what, JP? I like that. I like that about you, JP.
JP, I love
Still paid
you,
for
man.
it, though.
Wow. Different.
Nice of me.
No, it's funny, because, yeah, if any Texas people are in here and thought we were being rude to the great state of Texas, I had some of my best times living in Dallas, Texas. And, Trev, I actually had my first, quote-unquote, show meals in Texas. My first ever business trip in my previous life was to Texas. Hard 8 BBQ out by the airport. We racked them up. And then I think we went out to a couple places in Addison. And it was like one of those out of college moments. They're like, yeah, they're going to pay for everything. I was like, wait, even the drinks? Are you kidding me? Times were good. Right. Did you watch this ball game tonight, Trevor?
2328 Eagle Park Lane. That used to be my address, Arlington, Texas.
Boy.
Shout out. Did I watch this game? Of course I watched this game. Are you going to burn it? Because we kind of made that mistake last night. We kind of started getting
I want you to, tee it up for me. Caress it. Play with it. Were you on the back patio grilling? You're herding your kids? Like, what mental state are you in?
Out in my backyard watching the game on my TV. I was rooting for Scherzer. I wanted to see what he was going to do. Obviously, Javier is coming into this game with, a great run. He continued that. Scherzer looked good to me the first inning. And the beginning of the second inning, hits Jordan, with the slider, back foot slider. Got him. Not supposed to really do that, Max. And then it kind of unraveled there, and we keep talking about these big innings. 3-spot, top of the second, puts you in a hole. I don't think Texas was out of the game at that point, but it definitely, when you add on a run the next inning, and add on a run the next inning, all of a sudden you're looking at 5-0. That's a little bit different. And Houston's got a good bullpen. That's something we'll talk about in this game. Rangers were able to see the Houston bullpen, put some runs up on them. So you kind of have to like that if you're a Rangers fan. But one thing you're not going to like is that Altuve got going today. Tucker, no knocks, but 3 walks, right? Or did he end up getting a hit? You end up getting a hit, 1 for 2 with 3 walks. That's not good for you. Those guys get going. They got Urquidy going tomorrow. You got to go with, Dunning, Heaney, I know you're still confident because your team can bang, but Altuve and Tucker waking up in this game is, we talked about being up 2-0 can mean a lot of things for different teams, but against this Houston team, it didn't seem as secure as other teams it would be against. And that's the reason why, is because you're starting to wake up these guys. We got Brantley running down balls. That was
how about that
for the old man.
How about that, Michael Brantley? One last ride.
Yeah. Houston played a great game today. There's no other way around it. And, you don't expect to sweep them if you're the Rangers. So, you take this loss, take the L. Josh,
yeah, hold up. You're getting too far. I just asked how you watched the game. I just asked how you watched the game. And now
I said, are you going to burn it? Or you want to talk about it? Nate Lowe, you got to shave the mustache, bro.
Yeah, we talked about that on the stream.
Not a big fan of it.
He's going for something. And part of me respects that, but it's a vibe. Hey, you know what? If they go and they win 2 more games in the next 4, Nate Lowe can basically do whatever he wants. Trev, let's do it. The Texas Rangers would try to continue their undefeated Fury Road with the return of Mad Max Scherzer, while Houston would try to take the good Cristian route with Javier on the bump. Scoreless until Maxwell drops his silver hammer, bounces past time. It's 1-0, and Maldonado says, you think that was bad, yo. He gets the 2 RBI single, and then hit the music. Jose Altuve, Jose Altuve. Man, the little man hits a big fly. It's 4-0. Whoop, whoop. Make it 5 after Mauricio Dubon with the RBI hit. But how about that thick neck? He is young. He is hung. Josh, 2 times for me, Poppy. 2 2-run homers. It's 7-4. We're in range. Jeremy Pena with that Geico Insurance run. It's 8-4. Adelise adds another, but your guy, Ryan Presley, he shuts the door. Javier, Taneris, Abreu, and Presley. The Houston Astros win a must-win game, 8-5 final.
Good job, Poppy. Way to go, Gordo.
Gracias.
You had some good ones in there.
High and tight. This was a sneaky another 2023 postseason game, man. At one point, it's 5-0.
Imagine me and Josh Young wrestling together.
Oh, you and your playing weight?
Like 2015 me, yeah.
Yeah, I am right now.
Okay. Actually, I watched a bunch of fight videos today on Twitter. I didn't like that, bro. I gotta stay on my
love that
following side of that. Don't go on the for you. I'm not about that life.
Yeah, that for you page. Trev, no, it is for me, and I think it's where this game starts. And we already dipped the toe a little bit. Max Scherzer, man, we haven't seen him on a big league mound since September 12th, I believe. You saw the pictures of him getting jazzy during the celebrations because he was going to get to go out there again. I agree with where you started. I thought Max was looking sharper than I thought. I thought there was a chance that, that even in that first inning, a hungry Altuve, Michael Brantley, great career numbers on him. He punches Brantley's ticket, which, you always talk about how that guy's never had a bad swing. And by the way, if you haven't seen the clip of his dad correcting his swing from the stands the other day, that's as good as it gets. He comes out, he gets Yordan 0-2, and you're like, shoot, are we getting Mad Max? Back foots what they're labeling a cutter, and then he strikes out Abreu. So I guess for me, when I was mentally processing this, the lefties, he ends up 5-pitch walk to Kyle Tucker. Dubon gets the hit that doesn't score because he hits it so hard it's at Evan Carter. He even gets Pena to pop out, and then you're like, oh my God, it's Maldonado. 9-hitter, the only weakness in the Astros armor, right? And then he bounces the 0-1, and before this show, we were talking a lot of Jonah Heim, Trev.
Well, I mean, it's going to happen from time to time. They labeled it as a wild pitch according to MLB.com. It was not so wild of a pitch. I don't really know how that happened, but I think that was the turning point for Max Scherzer right there. And I don't really know. He's obviously good enough to overcome that, but there are these little instances in games like you have him right there. You get Pena to pop out to second base, and you're telling yourself as a pitcher, as a player on that field, we're about to get out of this inning unscathed. We got lucky with a Dubon ball right at Evan Carter because, of course, because Evan Carter is just always in the right place, right time. Love that guy. He was going to be a doctor or an endodontist at Duke. Just throwing that out. Right. So shout out for good teeth. But then you get the wild pitch and a run scores. All of a sudden, it's like, dang, now we're behind. And you start to have that in your mind. And now all of a sudden you don't execute the next pitches as well as maybe you would have. And Maldonado makes you pay for it. All of a sudden you're down 3-0. And next inning, Altuve. I mean, look at the ball that Altuve hit out. Not a bad pitch.
No.
It's a bad pitch to him because I keep telling people if you're short, you like the ball at your neck. And that's exactly where it was. That's why I'm going low to you in Blitzball 4. Altuve takes him up top, gets him going. I talked about that already. It's scary for Texas if Tucker and Altuve get going because, they've had Bregman's he didn't have a good night tonight. He's kind of struggling. I feel like he's hit the ball hard, though. I don't feel like he's been struggling as much as like an Altuve or a Tucker, but his numbers are bad, but he's having good at-bats. It's just one little thing, man. One little thing in these baseball games turns into, crooked numbers, big, gaps in the score, and before you know it, you're down 5-0.
Trevin, maybe that's because something that I think both of us may have mentally forgotten. Jose Altuve's first at bat was to the wall. It looked like an innocent fly ball, and it's one of those like, wait, is the ball flying tonight, or is this guy an absolute freak show? And you mentioned Bregman having good swings. He had one that goes to the wall late. Jordan has one actually pulled back. So maybe that's why 5-0, the Astros always answering when Texas answered back, and with those other swings, it just felt like the Astros were in the driver's seat in what was, if you're just being honest, this was a must-win game for them. For Texas, it wasn't. And that's not saying like they weren't trying and Houston was trying extra hard. Like these are baseball guys going out doing their thing to win. That Scherzer-Heim bounce ball, and maybe I'm reading too much into this, but they bounce that. You see Heim spike it. They can't believe they've given up the first run. Like there's all sorts of numbers about when you give up the first run. So, and I would have to check with Martine on this, but to Maldonado, you just bounced one. It gets past. I would have bet that a fastball was coming, and he just jumps it. And now it's 3. When it felt like when they got Pena that it was going to be 0, and then instantly it was 3. And that set and changed the whole kind of tone of the game. Well,
I mean, I want to get you guys the location of that because I think that's important. Let me get it up here for you, Maldonado's pitch. Because, you're right. Look, you bounced that. Things are not great at that time. But if you're the Rangers, like, dude, we're not going to shut this team out again. Can I get it up? Here we go. This is the pitch you can't make right there. It's the blue one, people. I mean, that's... Even if you're swinging a horrible bat, can't find anything, if you get a pitch right there at 93.9, middle in, a little up, like a big league hitter has a pretty good chance of squaring that bad boy up. So just bad execution there. After the wild pitch, you got to locate better than that. Maldonado makes him pay.
Let's continue to taste Houston. I feel like there's been a couple times, especially in the Twin series, because you have some connections to Minnesota, that, we kind of leaned into the Twin side of it because there's another matter-of-factness to Houston that it's like, I've seen all these guys do it. Paxton was asking on the live stream, like, who's this year's breakout star? And it's kind of Evan Carter right now. Last year is Pena, but it's kind of funny with the Phillies freight train rolling and the Astros freight train rolling. There's not as much fresh blood on the scene as there normally is. I want to hit the Michael Brantley catch again. Shaquille O'Neal meme. I thought I was familiar with your game. I was unfamiliar.
Wow.
I didn't know Michael could still get that, Trev. He's had a lot of injuries. He's 36 years old. I think I brought up his baseball savant sprint speed. I think it was 9th percentile. Michael Brantley went out and got that ball, and that was big. That would have made it 5-3, I think, and they would have gotten Eris out of the pen, and there would have been another runner on second. For me, if I was doing plays of the game, like it's the Scherzer bounce, and then it's probably that Michael Brantley snag, dude. That felt bigger than what it was.
He got a great jump on it, and I think he knew right away that he had to beat on the ball. And usually when a ball is that distance away from a guy like Michael Brantley, who's, put his time in, a lot of dirt on those spikes, usually when a ball is hit like that, you take it easy and you play it off the wall, throw it in, no extra bases, just kind of do your thing. This is a do or die game. I mean, I think Brantley knows that, understands that, and maybe a little extra pep in the step there. In the postseason. It was a great catch. So I agree. I think that was a very important play. There was also the ball that I believe it was Carter that hit off of almost like home plate and bounced really high to Altuve, and Altuve still made the play. And I know it seems like, hey, that's not that big of a deal. It was just a big chopper. But do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I think it was Carter, right?
It's compliments to Altuve and Abreu.
It's tough throw because Altuve.
They both got caught stargazing for a second because, Trev, I ain't seen a chopper like that in a minute. I don't know if that's being dramatic, but that was ridiculous.
That was a big chopper, and he catches it and brings it down, palms the ball, has he has too much grip on the ball, and kind of like change-ups it over there. Abreu stays with it, and when you're that close, they're only, 6-7 feet apart, and you're throwing overhand to someone with a change-up grip, like, you got to be nimble at first base and make a play. And again, people are like, it's a fucking ground out, bro. They catch the ball. You're a big leaguer. Dude, it's the speed of Evan Carter. It's a postseason game. It's a weird play. All these things come in. It's not a routine play, dude. How many times do you see that play being made? You don't, because it doesn't happen that often, which means it's not routine. Altuve does a great job. And it's those little things, man. Like, those are the plays that can make things happen for the other team. You get momentum. You get another runner on base. But Brantley and Altuve making those plays, I think, were big. And both these teams kind of flashed the leather a little bit. You talked about Tavares in center field making some plays. It was a good game. Houston just did it better today.
Yeah.
On the road, because that's what they do.
There's home team is yet to win in this series. And I very much want to preface this with, it's not a play this fella should have made, but I bet he would make it 3 out of 10 because it's kind of a, hey, how are you? The Maldonado ball bounces in front of Young. It's a hot shot. It's a rip. There's going to be some times when it's look what I found. And you're going to pick that. There's going to be, 7 out of 10 times you're not going to get that one. But plays like that end up dictating the game. I guess what else for Houston? Presley comes in, walks the first batter, and then gets his grosses. For what his stuff is, or I guess, we're so obsessed with velo. For what his velocity is on his pitches, they're as gross as they can possibly be. The sliders, cutters, when he mixes in the changeup, even his fastball, he's kind of falling to first base and slings it. And I know we use a lot of different things to measure what pitches feel like, but it just feels different out of him. I guess for me, if you're Texas and you're looking for bright spots, you got to run off Brian Abreu, which I don't think he's done in his last 33 innings or something like that. There's some ridiculous stat out there. And Young clips Neris. So as much as we compliment Houston's formula and how much you're going to see bullpen guys in a longer series, they have a little bit of hope off of 2 of those guys, which maybe they can build upon. And I guess it's sinful as we wrap up the Houston side of this. Cristian Javier was really good. Cristian Javier was really good in another playoff start.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with these Astros. They have legitimate 3 and 4 starters, and really they have legitimate 5, 6 starters. But they're paring it down to 4 because they can do that in these situations. And you're going to have the advantage, against a team like the Rangers who don't. They have a lot of starting pitchers on this roster, the Rangers do, but they're not treating them as starters. I mean, Max Scherzer wasn't. I guess he was a starter. How many did he go? 5?
He ends up throwing 63 and 4.
4 innings.
Yeah.
But you didn't expect him like we would have been shocked if he pitched into the 6th inning today, right?
Yeah.
Like that was like probably not the plan. You hope for it. But these Astros, they have that ability now to say, you know what? And Dusty does such a good job. Like when they had Urquidy facing the Twins and we didn't know, what his pitch count was going to be. And all of a sudden Dusty's letting him roll out there because he's looking to see, all right, how many stressful pitches has he thrown? What do the hitters look like against him? Is he making a pitch when he needs to make it? Is he around the strike zone? They are. These pitchers are around the strike zone. They're making the pitches when they need to be. There's not a lot of damage being done, and I think that's going to play a huge part. They played a huge part today with Javier. It's going to play a huge part again with Urquidy. I think that's definitely an area where Houston has the advantage. They're starting pitching.
Houston, man, they were Houston tonight, and you noted before we said this, and I keep saying we're going to tie it off. You mentioned how Tucker 3 walks in a hit. He ends up getting it's that ball off the wall that gets relayed home. Altuve feels like he joined the party. Felt like you contained Yordan tonight. He was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a robbed homer. Like
contained.
Yeah, like he got beat for that 2 RBI single, and it was almost like, oh well, hey, it wasn't a grand slam, right? On the other side, Scherzer, I guess we've talked about that. Corey Seager has now entered a little interesting territory. I think he was. I think he's got
just a click off, man.
Yeah, I think he's got no walks and 4 strikeouts this series, and I think last series was opposite. They flashed that stat. And maybe it's as simple as, although there's a lot of guys that had zeros in the hit column, Semien and Seager. Like we talked about Semien, 2 pitches, 2 hits. He doesn't have a hit in this game. And yeah, Seager, you saw a little frustration out of him, which that's not normally, you think of Corey Seager, you almost think calm, cool, collected, doesn't get too high, too low. And he showed it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, looking at his swing, he's just like I said, a click off. So what does that mean? It just means that there's a little bit of excess movement somewhere, or there's a little bit of a timing issue. He's not getting going at the right time. He's not, typically you have a key off pitchers where, okay, this is where I'm going to start my load. It's either that where he's just not getting started in time, or he's got a little excess movement. So if you're Seager, if you're the hitting coaches, I think you just go high velo machine, take the pitches, train your eyes, get your body going, like good takes, good hard takes, but just feel where you have that excess movement. Because if you get in there and you're taking, you'll eliminate the excess movement pretty quickly, especially on those high velo machines. So I'd be surprised if he continues to look just off like that, because he is close. You can tell when guys are close. That's why he's so frustrated. He's like, dude, I'm right there. There's just something mechanically wrong. But it's the good hitters like him, they can clean it up quickly.
Right. And it's in these series too, it can change instantly. Like Corey Seager, even if he gets beat, but a single drops in tomorrow, like watch out for Corey Seager the rest of the game. Nathaniel Lowe, he gets a couple hits. He was kind of having a rough postseason. Let's see what that does for him. And then the story for Texas is really our guy, your wrestling mate over in the wet dirt over by third base, Josh Young. How about that little curveball the other way? I was like, that's not gonna go, is it? And it kept going. And then he gets a second one to center field. And we've talked about lineup depth with the Phillies. We've talked about the same guys with Houston. Josh Young, their 8th hitter,
Yep.
gives them a 2-homer night. Let's see how that carries for him.
Have they announced starters for tomorrow? I'm looking right now, and they have not, according to MLB.com. But I'm assuming it's Urquidy, and I'm assuming it's Heaney.
Yeah, they have Heaney and Dunning. So they've started Heaney. That was against the Orioles, and they do mix up their lineup. Their most feared hitters are lefty, and it was at Camden, which now has the massive left field. Houston a little more righty. I don't know.
Well, you're right. Right now,
Heaney
this lineup
and Dunning
was
have
right.
Both, they've both done some bullpen stuff, so they could each go a time through either way.
Right. It was tonight. It was right, left, right, left, right, left. So they went first 6 batters interchanging because Dusty's a G. Moved Tucker down to the 6th spot. He said he came up with that lineup on the plane ride there. Like, what the fuck does that mean, Dusty?
Yeah,
what?
that line. This lineup never came through your mind before, Dusty.
What
does that mean?
I don't know. There's a lot of things I just don't understand about the world.
Okay,
but it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Well, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up, and we'll tee up the next game a little bit. Thanks to the DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on baseball. So, what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code TALKIN. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on baseball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code TALKIN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. 21 plus, ages vary by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/baseball for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
Shout out South Lake Carroll High School. My friend Aaron Luna played football there. I played a Team USA with him. Once went to his house. He took me to a high school party. This is a year after I got drafted, I think. That's wild, bro. Texas high school is nuts. It's not like where I went to high school. I'll tell you that much. All boys and uniforms and shit.
Trev, you've struck a little bit of a chord. Had an ex-girlfriend that went there.
South Lake.
Yep.
Hi, South Lake Carroll.
I mean, she was, prom queen and all that, but it's whatever. Thanksgiving happened, and maybe she ran into someone else, and it was just never the same.
Is she married to Aaron Luna?
Just never the same. Fuck Aaron Luna. No, I don't think so. But yeah, I think, isn't that where like Dalton went? And they've got like a serious football alumni program. They're a low college team.
Yes,
yeah.
Their facilities are absolutely nuts. I was like shocked, and I go, "How many people come to these football games?" He's like, "Show me videos and stuff." I was like, "Bro, I don't really want to see this." But
you've got like season tickets that you pass through your family and stuff to get better seats. It's another.
Where's all these hot Texas girls at?
Okay. Late night, Trev.
That's what I asked. That's back in the day, bro.
Yeah, no. High tea.
California kid going to Texas. I was a star.
That sounds like a Morgan Wallen song.
Yeah, seriously. Well, that's the thing about the South is a dude from the South comes to LA, all the chicks love him. Dude from California goes to the South, all the chicks love him.
Hate. Oh.
No. The boys don't like those Cali boys.
And the Northeast, not welcome anywhere.
Anywhere. We're like, get out of here, you losers. Yeah.
Shit. Everyone's out.
So go yell at something.
You guys are miserable.
Go be upset.
Trev, you teed it up, Urquidy. We'll see if Texas gets funky. It should be some combination of Heendog and Dunning. I guess
especially because we got Gray and Perez tonight. So
exactly. So there, you have to assume more or less they're out. Let me bring up Heendog's game log real quick. Houston, April, 5 innings, no earned runs. Interesting.
Whoops.
Texas, Houston in July, 5 innings, no earned runs. And those were his starts. So if I'm going out on a limb right now, I might lean Heendog. But,
Heendog,
Bochy and Dusty are old school. Dusty writes his lineups on the fly. Bochy might see something in the smoke of his bathroom tonight. I meant like I didn't mean smoke, but I guess it kind of works. I meant
neon lights, little smoke.
No,
around
I meant when like it fogs
dark.
up in your shower, and then like you see the ghost writes in the mirror like Dunning.
Oh,
yeah. But I don't see that happening.
Okay.
We also snakes it too, Trev.
Two
West Coast.
To West Coast.
Let's let people know we're not. An episode will not be out tomorrow night following the games. We're recording it Friday morning, so it'll be out next Friday morning. Want everyone to know that because I know people like these late night episodes. Tomorrow we just got a few things we can't do. So
late night feels a little friskier,
we're talking about a lot of things here. I love our Texas accent. I think it's spot on.
Yeah, I think people like that. People did enjoy our catcher conversation last night, so that's always good to see. It's good to see that
we'll give the people something.
The baseball fan. Every baseball
ask me
fan.
Some more names.
Every baseball fan has a little bit of loser in them. And you just got to lean into that. I'd think of Frank Catalanato's name every day. I have no idea why. It's just in there. You walk up to the plate and you see Salvi.
Oh, what's up, Poppy? Stop trying to backpick me, bro. I'm not stealing. That's what I tell him.
Crack a big
And then
smile.
I got a stolen base off him the one time. He pissed me off so much because him and Moustakas would backpick me at third base on, dude. What are you doing, man?
I'm
paying attention.
Third base on third base crime. And I told Sal I'm going to get a bag on you, and I did that day. He overthrew it. I was out, but he overthrew it.
Did you ever... So I think probably the best sports comparison would be playing pickup basketball, and sometimes if you're lined up with a guy, you kind of give each other easy on the backdoor cuts, like no elbows when we're rebounding, like let's be cool. Could you ever give like a first baseman don't fucking I banged my ankle up. Like don't backpick me today, dude. Like my ankle's jacked
Yeah, of course.
Up. Okay.
All the time. I'm like, I play third base. Do you want that? Because I can do it too. I play third base.
Oh, I
can throw my glove out there.
Eye for an eye.
But for what catchers I would do, we can I don't like to talk about myself. I swear I never do. When I knew guys were like good framers, like frame rate dudes, I would legit go and be like, hey, say whoever, Chris Guccioni's umpire. Gooch, this dude's trying to deceive you. Look at his numbers. He's trying to fool you. Don't let him fool you today. And the catchers did not like that. But it's true.
I wonder why.
Don't let him fool you, Chris.
This guy's literally trying to trick you, dude.
Yeah. Play this game nice and fair, guys.
September 9th, you walk up, and who's behind the plate but Hank Conger?
Oh, man. Back in the day, I didn't know Hank that well. I just knew him from TV. I watched him play in the Little League World Series.
Right.
I believe maybe Long Beach. He was part of that crew. Didn't know him that well, but we were always, cordial. Okay. Now he's my guy. We play cards late night and drink wine. At least I drink wine. He just plays cards.
Jason Castro?
Stanford guy. So
okay.
And Team USA together, so very much respectful between him and I.
I think we found our landing spot for the night. Everyone enjoy the 2 games tomorrow. Let's see if the Snakes got some venom left in them. And man, massive game in Dallas, dude. I mean, 2-2 or 3-1. Boogity, boogity, boogity. We will see you guys Friday. Whew. Almost there. 2-1. Whew.
Chick sucks.
2013 Houston Astros. Altuve, Carlos Pena, JD Martinez.
Yeah.
LJ Hose.
Ooh. Yeah.
Chris
Look at my queso dip.